when I invited the dancers and the drummers to come, I said, look, this is not just coming about a celebration for Jeffrey Gibson. Like, the history of Indigenous people in Europe, and specifically in Venice, oftentimes people were brought here under duress, torn away from their communities. Many of them died here and were never returned to their communities. This is us. I'm inviting you. Indigenous curators, our co-curators, are inviting you. You're coming here for you. You are dancing for our ancestors. You are dancing for our spirits. You are dancing for the future, and you're dancing for the past. We are not performing.
Good morning. This is the film crew camera too.
Oh, really?
We're inside the crowd, guys.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
I think this is a huge historic moment in time for the Biennale, but also for Native America. I think that it's going to change the tides, and it's going to change the future.
Whenever I'm called a minority, I find it incredibly offensive because I think when we're at home and we're with our people, we are the majority and we know what it feels like to feel central, and it's such a healing act. So please, when you have the opportunity, please centralize those voices that oftentimes have been referred to as minority or peripheral, outside the mainstream.
A lot of times, Native art are, we're the invisible people that are right in front of you. Our art is not acknowledged in a global setting like this.
I stand before you speaking our Choctaw language, but yet Jeffrey's work through his hands speaks for all Indigenous people. Here at Biennale 2024, it is such a blessing. Again, as a tribal chief of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, to share this moment with you, Jeffrey. We thank you, we love you, and we are so grateful, and congratulations.
Our performance today, it felt like it was more about including ourselves in a space where we were historically undervoiced. The singing, the drums, the sound of our jingles, and it wasn't for the greater audience. It really felt like it was a part of our hearts being a part of this. I think that it's so powerful that he is bringing other nations together. Small movements, I believe, create a larger movement, and I think that that's what this is. It's a part of a larger movement.
You see the three gentlemen up top. Those guys are all from the same drum group, some tribes. Those are the things that move us in general. So without them, we cannot move and dance the way we do. And you see the ladies with the shawls. The ladies with the shawls represent butterflies. So when they dance, they're elegant, they move around, and it's beautiful when they do. Kevin, he's a fancy dancer, so he has the two bustles, and I'm Northern Traditional with one bustle. And my style of dancing, I'm a storyteller, so I tell stories when I dance. So jingle dress, fancy shawl, fancy dancers, the singers, we're all together in this whole thing, even though we dance different categories.
The regalia is incredible, and it's important to understand that my work is inspired by what I have seen by makers such as the people who are here today. Many people are not aware that our regalia, our songs, our dances, our prayers have been seen as contraband and have been confiscated historically. So over the 20th century, 19th century, bringing those traditions back and also continuing to build upon them is an act of survival.
The jingle dress actually comes from the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe tribes. That dress is a holy dress. It's a spiritual, sacred dress. So those jingles you hear, they actually carry the prayers. So when she's dancing, that's all it is, prayers going up to the Creator.
So I lost my luggage on the way here, and it got here at midnight. And I believe it was through the power of prayer and collective working. And this dress is very powerful. Every time, when I performed yesterday, I was in my regular clothes, but this dress gives you a certain superpower, and there's a certain spirit within it.
Our outfits are all handmade. They're, it takes years and years to do all the beadwork and the feather work that we wear. This is part of our culture, our spirit.
The jingle dress dance specifically represents healing. So when people are sick, ailing, or in pain from grieving, the jingle dress dance is supposed to heal that. And being here made me very emotional because we weren't representing just ourselves, we were representing our different tribal nations, our people, and our ancestors. So it was a healing experience, it was an emotional experience, an overwhelming experience, and we're all so grateful for it.
I know for a long time Native people have required and needed this kind of representation in order for us to continue with prosperity and strength. And what people are going to do here today is absolutely that. This is certainly against all the odds. This is the example of survival. This is the example of healing. This is the example of reclamation.
When we dance, we put our dance clothes on, and it's just part of us. The songs and the drum as we dance, it's like that healing spirit that's just all around us. And maybe that's why we're here, is to start that healing, across all these different nations. Maybe it's that time for us to be here.
Just to show our art and our creativity is a privilege. There's so much that the world doesn't know about Native Americans, and we love to show that culture.
Before we danced, we had a prayer. We talked about what was going to happen and the spirit that we are going to let out when we dance, and it's going to go, all over the nation, just all over the world from this point, And so it's just a very spiritual event.